Hey everyone, welcome to Rinks Around the League. On this episode, I'm going to talk about who I follow and subscribe to on YouTube. So if you're wanting to check out some new subscriptions, stay tuned. We're heading there next. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome to Rinks Around the League. I'm, of course, your host, Jeff Nash. Rinks Around the League, of course, is brought to you by the Ross Flats Vintage Apparel, Arcadia Brewing, and the Second String Leather Company. Check out all their awesome stuff via the links down below. I have a lot of different interests. I find a lot of things really fascinating, so I'm sure there's gonna be a couple on this list that you haven't heard of. Make sure to hit them up and subscribe because these guys make awesome content. So I've kind of broken it up to different categories. All right, let's talk about food. During the pandemic, I really dove into cooking and learning more about food for obvious reasons with restaurants being closed. So obviously a big one is binging with Babish. He's been around for a while. I just finally kind of started watching him over the last year or so, and I've actually done a lot of his recipes. Really does a really good job of explaining the simplicity of making some of the recipes. I've actually been able to make some, and they've actually turned out pretty well. So binging with Babish, definitely check him out. Dark Side of the Grill, a local YouTube creator. Some guys I know through my days at the Oilers created this YouTube channel, and it's all about barbecuing and grilling, obviously. So some pretty cool stuff. They're pretty funny guys, and they kind of hit up some places around Edmonton, so hit them up. Kimmy Werner is a woman, I guess, forager slash fisher woman. She's done a lot of, the ones that I've watched, she's done a lot of diving for crabs and scallops and stuff. She does a really good job of showing how to kind of live off the land, which I really appreciate. Another really good one is the Fish Locker out in the UK. Does a lot of crabbing, lobster fishing, and a lot of tide pools. I think every week I actually watch his videos as he walks along the coastline and goes through different tide pools and points out the different species of what lives in those tide pools. One thing I missed greatly during the pandemic, especially with my family, is hitting up the coast, Vancouver Island, going in those tide pools and just getting lost inside. It was one of my favorite things to do in life. So Fish Locker, really good guy. Speaking of fishing, I have to give a shout out to Outdoor Chef, fellow Japanese Californian, is a sushi chef that tours and shows how he cuts fish, how he fillets fish. One of my favorite videos that he does is he goes out and fishes tuna, comes back, and they make awesome sushi right on the beach. So Outdoor Chef life, amazing. And of course, First We Feast, Hot Ones. If you haven't seen it, great show where they interview subjects and they eat a hot wing and they get incrementally hotter as they go until raging hot, and he gets amazing guests on his show. So Hot Ones, another good food related one. All right, this channel wouldn't be complete with talking about some hockey. Now, I don't really follow a whole lot of hockey channels, but the ones I do are good ones. I have to give a shout out to the Hockey Guy. He's based out of Vancouver. He does, I can't believe the amount of content that he pushes out, but he does 2-3 episodes a day. I first got into his channel because he was a jersey guy, talked a lot about jerseys and stuff like that. I'm a little bit of a jersey nut. I can't afford to go too crazy with jerseys, but I do have my favorites, and I just love the intricacies of jerseys that they release every year. So the Hockey Guy, great guy to follow. The Nation Network here in Edmonton, again, another local Edmonton network. The Real Life podcast I listen to quite regularly, and some pretty funny guys on that show. So the Nation Network, and I have to give a shout out to another partner of the show, Famous Goal Horns. If you've ever wondered what each goal horn sounded like in each rink, because they're all different, give Famous Goal Horns a sub, because he has them all. He does a great graphics package. He even has an app. Go to the App Store and download it. All right, aviation. I'm a big aviation guy. I love going to air shows. Another thing during the pandemic I do with my son is building model aircraft and models. So I love behind the scenes, especially with guys who flown planes and jets, fighter jets. So Ward Carroll, he's an ex-F-14 pilot, and obviously he had lots to say about the movie Top Gun. He goes through kind of breaking down the movie, what is real, what's Hollywood. He breaks down all the trailers and stuff, and he's fairly new to YouTube, so hit him up. He's an ex-F-14 pilot. C.W. Lemoyne, he's an ex-F-16 pilot. I believe he's a commercial pilot, I believe now, but he does a really good mailbag. He calls Mover Ruins movies. He's an author of a book series, but my favorite videos of his is he actually goes through and he breaks down accident reports. When the latest snowbirds catastrophe last year happened, he actually takes the actual incident report, breaks it down page by page, and goes through the whole process. And having his expertise is really cool to listen to because he knows so much about it, and he has a very, very, I would say, a pretty balanced opinion on all that stuff. So really, really love his channel. I watch it all the time. Hazard Lee, he's kind of again another somewhat newer YouTube. He's an F-35 pilot, so more modern aircraft, and so you kind of have the different generations of pilots. You have Ward, CW, and Hazard Lee. Hazard Lee talks about the F-35. My favorite video that he's done is he talks about flybys and how they time that, because the one thing I've always wondered is how, for football games and stuff, how they're able to time precisely when the anthem singer hits that high note that they roar past, and how they actually have time it. And he goes into detail on they actually have to do that for bombing runs and stuff. So it's actually quite a routine thing they do. Anyways, he does a great job explaining it. That's one of my favorite videos with him. Thing kind of related to aviation, but completely different, is space. I love astronaut stuff, NASA stuff. I have a list here. Everyday Astronaut. When I first started watching his channel, he's kind of broke down space exploration. He kind of broke down how engines work, and it was really cool to watch him. It's really cool to see how his channel has expanded and really grown even over the last few years. So obviously he covers a lot of everything, but he does a lot with SpaceX and coverage and stuff, so it's really cool to watch him kind of break stuff down. He also does a ton of live streams for every single SpaceX launch and stuff, so it's pretty cool. He does a really good job breaking it down. It's really cool watching his channel really take off. Scott Manley, really love this guy. He has a channel out of Scotland, and you can just tell he's a very intelligent guy. He really breaks down the physics of things, how engines work, space travel. He gets into everything from space photography, everything. So, and his shows are fairly bare bones. He just kind of does it out of his house. So Curious Droid, another really good science, space travel, but he also touches on aviation and more stuff like Russian astronaut stuff. And his videos are always really well done. Marcus House really does a week at a glance in news when it comes to space exploration and travel and development. So he's actually kind of like the news of the week, and I watch him every week to kind of get caught up, because the stuff that SpaceX and NASA is doing is just crazy how much they're moving at building. And of course, the more official channels, the NASA YouTube channel and SpaceX channels on YouTube are awesome. All right, some fun stuff or news related. Curiosity Incorporated is a antique shop here in Edmonton. He does a YouTube series on, they buy hoarding houses, and he goes through and shows you what they find and how they sell it and stuff. So really interesting. Another Edmonton YouTube homegrown guy, so give him a sub. Philip Defranco does a lot of US politics, news, events. He kind of does like a news breakdown every day. Honestly, sometimes it's the only way I can kind of get a condensed 20-minute news of the day into one episode, because I don't have time to watch the news every single day. So He's really good to watch. Wired and Vanity Fair, these guys do a really good breakdown or tech support videos that I always love watching them. TLDR does a really good job of breaking down the European news events. So I really watched a lot of their stuff during the Brexit, what was happening there. They do a really good job of simplifying it and explaining a very complex and complicated thing like Brexit to the everyday person. So give them a follow. Fun stuff, Lucas the Spider. My kids love this animated series. It's kind of this cute furry little spider that gets up to some crazy antics. So if you need a little bit of a laugh and a cute video, that's a good one. Dale MYD is a diver who dives in a lot of spots, rivers, old abandoned mines, and he goes down with a metal detector and he finds guns and phones and treasure and stuff. So he's another fun one to watch. All right, and I guess I'll end it with kind of computer hobby subs that I do. Great Scott is a great computer wiring. I'm trying to get into computer and do-it-yourself projects. Great Scott really does a good job of breaking down complex projects and helping you understand how wiring and computing works. So great sub there. Awesome Restorations, again, another video series and channel that you can really just go down the rabbit hole and watch. They take really old, rundown, rusted, antique things. One of my favorite videos was they take these old vintage Zippo lighters from Vietnam and stuff, and they restore them to they look brand spanking new. So again, just you can get lost hours and hours watching these guys just take something that looks like a lump of rust and turn them into something that is just absolutely phenomenal. So Adam Savage is tested. You know Adam Savage from Mythbusters. He has a YouTube channel where he does one-day builds. He does a lot of special effects stuff, breakdown videos, Lego reviews. He does it all. Paper Stadiums, I've had him on the show talking about building stadiums and NHL rinks out of paper. He does an amazing job. He has a YouTube channel. He goes into how he makes them, builds them, specs them, and ships them. So check out his channel, amazing. Smarter Every Day, a popular one, but Destin, I love watching all his stuff. He really breaks down science in a really fun and engaging way. He did a whole series on being on board a nuclear submarine, and like, wow, he has amazing experiences. So pretty cool watching his development and his channel growth. Mark Robber, he's probably more known for the glitter bomb videos that he does every Christmas. But watching him get excited over the Mars rover and stuff like that. He used to be at NASA. He used to work at NASA, and he makes some really cool things. So the inner nerd, inner dad that wants to make crazy projects, that's a good channel to check out. Anyways, I just wanted to throw together a quick video on who I watch all the time, and it's, there's more that I'm missing out of all this, but maybe I'll do another one later on. But I'm guaranteeing if you go to some of these people's channels, I'll link as many as I can down in the description below. Go and check out some of these guys' stuff. It's truly amazing stuff. So make sure and subscribe to their channels as well. And if you're new here, make sure and like and subscribe this channel, Rinks Around the League. Thanks for joining me. We'll catch you next time.